Podcasts are hot right now. How do I know? Well, you're listening to one right now, aren't you? But you might be wondering, how on earth do I get my voice out there and start my own podcast? It all seems so intimidating. Between hosting and platforms and monetization, it can get real complicated real quick. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We started this podcast over 2 years ago, not knowing clue one on how to do it. So how did we do it? We did it with Anchor. Anchor is the free podcast app with creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on all the platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And everybody likes money, right? Well, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go right now, download the free Anchor app, or go to Anchor FM to get started. It's the eCommerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart, Mroz, and John Suder. The eCommerce Minute is a production of SUMO Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com.
It's eCommerce Minute, episode 641.
In today's episode, Rebag uses data to judge your luxury bag's worth.
When it comes to the luxury clothing and accessory market, it's often just as difficult and intimidating to get the product secondhand. What's a fair price? What's a deal? Where do I even begin? It can even be difficult to find the best platform to trade that Louis Vuitton Speedy or figure out what the appropriate resale price would be. The New York-based online platform Rebag has your answers. Rebag, the luxury handbag buying and selling retail destination, has a relatively new, groundbreaking tool that allows users to check the value of luxury handbags, whether you're selling the Gucci in your closet or eyeing up the Chanel that you've wanted for a while. The appraisal system is called CLAIR, named for the acronym for Comprehensive Luxury Appraisal Index for Resale. CLAIR generates a resale value instantly for users who input details of their bag's brand, model, size, style, color, and condition. The company's proprietary software can then determine the value of any handbag from among 50 brands. As Refinery29 points out, given the ever-growing market value of designer handbags, like the fact that a Chanel bag can sell for $12,000, this technology is more relevant than ever. When you add that to the resale market boom, you can almost guarantee that popular vintage bags like Dior's saddlebag and Gucci's Marmot bag will continue to be bought and sold at an increasingly high rate. CLAIR helps by giving users the data they need to be an informed participant in the resale market, investing in selling bags with insider knowledge once only available to experts. To share which bags are worth the splurge, Rebag will release a list of CLAIR's picks each month with the company's recommendations. For example, at the time of launch, the Christian Dior book tote was in real time seeing a 26% increase in value since Q1 of 2019. The tool can be accessed on the Rebag website and mobile app. Rebag said that CLAIR was developed over 5 years and uses what it calls CLAIR codes to standardize the many descriptive terms of the luxury handbag market.
Interesting. So, Bart, is this the StockX for handbags?
Maybe. I don't. So the problem with handbags, it's not the same as sneakers. Sneakerheads are sneakerheads. Like bags are just a different animal thing.
I would gently disagree with that.
Really?
Well, didn't you show me the Ryan Serhant video of the woman that has the closet that's 3 stories tall?
Yeah,
that's the equivalent of a sneakerhead.
Yeah, kind of, but she mostly has shoes. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
that's true. Well, yeah. Well, shoes are bigger than bags.
See, shoes are definitely bigger than bags.
Shoes are definitely big because you would swap shoes more than you would swap a bag. I agree.
I mean, she had all the Louboutins. The whole wall was just
it was just one wall of Louboutins. So it's like good for you.
There's probably $1 million worth of shoes.
Conspicuous consumption, but yeah,
Brittany, we need to show you that video.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, StockX. What's your definition of StockX? A stock exchange for sneakers. I mean, is it vintage or is it just all sneakers? So if you get a drop on a new Nike and it's a limited edition, you can buy and trade.
You can buy and trade, but also tell what it's going for.
Right. So you can go on there and say, okay, my Yeezys from whatever year are worth X amount of dollars. And then you could list them. So you wouldn't. So in this respect, you wouldn't list it on eBay. You would list it on StockX.
Yep. Because it's a better place to list them.
Gotcha. Because it's a consolidated niche audience. So we have this CLAIR thing here. They have this nice little chart that kind of tells you where your handbag might fall in value. Britt, so we have this CLAIR pick. You've entered in, you've got a Christian Dior book tote, and it says $1,500 cash or Rebag credit $1,725. Does that mean you could sell them this bag for that price?
Yep.
Wow. pretty cool.
Yeah, that's insane.
So if you said, I don't want the cash, I want a credit, you'll actually get more for a Rebag credit, which is interesting.
Which is pretty cool. I guess they anticipate that you're going to be using it all the time for buying and selling.
Right. I kind of get you hooked in.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I see what they're doing.
I see what they're doing.
I see it. I was reading in my research that for like an Hermes bag, above all the other brands, are like as good as gold, which I had like no idea. Like apparently those Johns are expensive when they're like classic.
Yeah, well, it's the same with the luxury watch market. We did a story on something called Rally Road about a year or so back. They started out as a stock market to buy and trade shares of luxury cars. And it's really cool if you're into cars. I've been using it since it came out. I own like shares in like 5 different cars. They've recently expanded to watches. I own shares in a Rolex watch, and you can buy shares as low as $5 a share, but you're owning shares in a watch, and some of these watches go for like $100,000, $200,000. And in fact, the greatest example is, this was probably big on the internet last week, where the guy went to like Antiques Roadshow. When he was in the service in the 70s, he saw that the pilots were wearing these really cool Rolex Oyster Perpetual watches, which at the time went for $400. And given that it was 1974, that was basically his whole month's salary from the Army. So he really, really wanted this watch. Well, he got the watch, realized it was too nice to wear, stuck it in a safety deposit box, and would check on it from time to time and say, you know what, this watch is just too nice to wear. I'm just going to keep it here and see if it increases in value. Fast forward to last week, he goes to Antiques Roadshow and finds out that his watch, in perfect condition, because it still had the little sticker on the back, which is what collectors look for, meaning it hasn't been worn, minimum $400,000. Watch is now worth up to $700,000. And there's a great reaction gif of this guy literally falling over.
Falls off.
Finds out what his watch is worth.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. It's
I'm
like,
so happy for that guy. I'm just like, he literally was floored. Like he just basically went, just
some happy news. Like you watch that. You don't even have to like,
you don't even
have it on and just on mute. You're like, this just makes me so happy.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a real big market for collectibles like this, especially luxury collectibles. And there's another one, I don't think we've ever done a story on it, but Artsy is another one where you can buy incremental shares of art. So you could basically get in on a Basquiat, which somebody probably bought this Basquiat 20 years ago for $100,000 and now worth like $3 million. So yeah, so the company's called Rebag. Britt, are you familiar with Rebag at all, or is this your first foray into this company?
Well, I've heard of just like in general resold bag markets. Like I know that like secondhand bag markets exist, but I didn't know about this one specifically and like what it does, how it works like a stock. I didn't know anything like this existed. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, very interesting.
I would never, of course, use it because my purse is a $29 Forever 21 crossbody bag.
Your favorite store.
For 4 years.
Yeah, so as we've been reporting, eCommerce is huge. And also, I mean, people who would buy and sell these kind of things, it's called alternative investing. And gone are the days when alternative investing means you bought gold coins and stuck them under your bed. It's now you can go and invest in tangible items such as handbags, cars, watches, and art. I think it's pretty interesting how it's been commoditized so that the average Joe like you and me can get in on some of this stuff. And that even goes for real estate. Like Bart and I, we use a thing called Fundrise. We're not fancy real estate investors, but we can put a couple bucks in and, you know, get partial ownership of an apartment building. And I think that's pretty cool. Close it up a little stat time. ThreadUp, while not focused on luxury brands, predicts a $51 billion resale market by 2023. I'll agree with that one. Fendi's Mama Forever bag and Louis Vuitton's favorite handbag have increased in value 144 and 27% respectively since 2018, according to the Claire data. Boston Consulting Group estimates that luxury resale will grow at an average rate of 12% per year through 2021 to a whopping $36 billion with a B market with a 9% share of the personal luxury goods segment. In the U.S. alone, 50% of luxury customers, which BCG defines as those who have purchased a luxury item in the previous 12 months, have taken to participating in the resale market. And among many of the 12,000 consumers in 10 countries that it surveyed in conjunction with Versataire, 44% of respondents said that they purchased more expensive luxury items than they would have bought without a resale market. Very interesting, according to BCG. All right, and that's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add eCommerce Minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion, or just want to say hi, find us on social media at SUMO Heavy.